Okay, this is Junker's Review, and we're here to talk about Sisu.
Like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell.
This is a movie that neither one of us knew that much about. Very intense action thriller. It's set in World War II. It follows a prospector who, it's a pretty simple plot. He just basically finds some gold, sets off to cash it in at the bank. He just like takes off on the damn road with all this gold. He finds the gold and he sets right out on the highway on the horse, and he had his dog with him, right? Those were his two companions. He encounters the SS, the German army. Hilarious what this guy managed to live through.
And then they just started searching his everything he had. They patted him down. Then they were searching his bags, and one found gold.
So then they were going to execute him. That's whenever the violence starts. I mean,
Yeah,
this guy just mows through them. The violence at this point was superhuman ridiculousness. But the gunfire, the original group of SS soldiers hear it. They come back and start, chasing him. And that's whenever he goes through that minefield.
he starts lobbing the mine. Somehow he's able to dig up the mines and start lobbing them like hand grenades.
And then he basically, uh, I mean, I don't know how to put it. It's like he takes up a shield like Captain America and holds off, a tank or something. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense at all.
He is holding off machine gun fire.
Oh, you saw the same scene I did.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That thing could not hold that back.
Oh no, that was a 10.
I mean, so Frankie, like what I found out later is based on like a real legend. So this movie was deliberately over the top.
Yeah, yeah, they made everything impossible to survive, but he survived it just because of the legend. The legend said he would have survived this, so therefore everything was a little over the top.
We were in the movie watching this guy do Marvel superhero type stuff.
With that one infection,
You just stabbed your finger with a nail and you've had 3 weeks of grief and penicillin. And this guy, I mean, it's nuts what he ends up going through. They end up uh, hanging him at one point.
he survived a plane. He survived two plane crashes, but that was gruesome. How he survived the gallows. That was just gruesome. Made me cringe.
It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie without the dialogue. It's like Inglorious Bastards, that level of violence.
Yes,
Yeah, but man, you got to stop the yawning.
I'm tired.
There's no talking. I mean, there's very little dialogue. I don't think this guy says like two words during the movie until the very end. Actually, the guy who talks the most is the SS guy.
Yeah,
Uh, and the SS guy eventually finds his dog tags and learns that a Finnish trooper that had his family killed and went nuts. Not went nuts, but turned into like a death squad,
yeah, but
basically.
one man death squad. They just said, "Here, you're not with the unit. You just go and kill people."
Yeah, they
That's a,
like turned him loose. They were saying they just turned him loose.
and he
Uh,
killed. He's got over 300 Russian kills, and they say that he's unkillable. And they're saying, and they're the headquarters, wherever they're talking to, is telling them, telling the SS guys to just turn around, go back to, and just forget about it.
uh, the SS commander Bruno, he knew the war was over and they were just trying to get the gold. We need that gold for after the war. He ends up on a plane with
Bruno and the pilot, just some random pilot.
the pilot ends up had been shot,
Yep.
ends up dying. The Tommy, the Sisu guy, let's just call him the Sisu guy. What does he give? He like ties a bomb to him and throws him out the bottom of the plane or something.
In the plane, there is a large bomb and a bomb bay, and it's got a release on it. Well, at the end of the climax of the battle, Sisu and Bruno have a battle, and Bruno puts a handcuff on him. No, I take it back. Bruno has got this whip thing with the metal carabiner on the end of it, and he's hitting him in the face with it, hitting him like a whip. So Sisu catches it, connects it to the bomb, and then he releases it. So Bruno, our bad guy, is falling out of the plane connected to a large 500
Yeah.
pound.
I mean, the plane crashes. This was, I mean, when this happened, we were already like,
It's like midnight, midnight on it.
yeah, it was, we were all, and like people in the audience, I think there was some guy behind us that was like laughing through the whole movie. I mean, not laughing, making fun of the movie. We loved the movie. It was enjoyable.
It was so over the top, so gory. It was almost comical.
Yeah, the plane crash. I swear to God, I mean, that was like 1975 compute graphics because they didn't even bother. It was like the plane was on the screen 1 minute and then it was just dust.
With a
That,
small little plume of dust, not a large.
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
it was just, and then the next scene, what was it? The guy had lived. He was under the water or something.
it was more like a permafrost, like a bog. It was more like a bog. With
Like,
moss and water, he crawled out of it.
yeah. And then he went to the bank and turned his money in. He
That's
had a large bill.
yeah, because gold weighs is a heavy. How he put it? It was so funny.
I don't know. He had a lot of gold.
Gold is so damn heavy or something. It was just so funny.
I mean, so
But that was his only lines of the movie, other than telling the dog to run.
did the actors speak English?
It was dubbed. It was dubbed English. Yeah, they didn't speak. They wasn't speaking English. I
See,
think maybe the German. I think maybe the German guy spoke English.
the character Sisu, Bruno finds out that the immortal, the legend or whatever, there actually is a Finnish legend of just like perseverance, uh, getting through it all. And that's just basically what this movie, it was just, I mean, the action in this movie was funny. The gore wasn't, I mean, it wasn't like Evil Dead gore. I mean, it was kind of comical.
Yeah, it was more. Yeah, it was more comical, like just splatter of blood. You kind of see some
Well, he
body.
stabbed some guy all the way through with a knife in his head. I mean, like it was like sticking the knife through butter. It just would not be that simple.
Okay, the goriest thing was the horse.
The horse blowing up, that was pretty
Yeah,
bad.
the
Yeah.
horse. Yeah,
His horse, his,
they
the, his, his
realistic.
two companions were the horse and the dog. Now, the dog made it to the end of the movie. The dog actually went with him to the bank, didn't he? I think he did.
I don't remember seeing the dog at the bank, but I
Yeah,
don't.
I think he reunited with the dog. Who cares?
He left it. Remember, he left the dog at the lake when he crossed the lake.
Yeah. And through the whole movie, so Bruno had captured as
Oh,
part of, he had like a harem of female prisoners, and and they were periodically, they really weren't big parts of the movie. Like Bruno sent the women out to scout out the minefield,
it
but
was just like the second in command. It was just second in command.
I got turned over to the women.
Yeah, they had him. They had him strapped to the cannon.
The women weren't that big of, I mean, they were they, did you think they were that big a part of the movie?
Because when he saved them in that when they're back in the truck and he comes in the truck and he kills the guys, then he was able to have them. He gives them guns. When he steps in, he got a whole bunch of rifles.
Basically.
Yeah, the only ones that were left are the ones in the tank. He's fighting him. Remember, he's on the tank and he fights him, and they both fall off the tank. And
Yeah, let
that
me find out that guy's name.
and the other SS, the second in command SS guy.
Wolf.
Yeah,
Wolf is the second in command. Wolf is the name of the. Uh,
he ends up just sitting in the street while everyone else is going on, and the girls pull up and they're in the tank
Presumably in Russia, the girl, the women presumably strapped Wolf to the front of the tank or whatever,
on the cannon.
and went to Russia, I guess. Or
I,
no,
I wasn't really clear on that either. Were they in Russia? Were they in Sweden?
yeah, that's a long damn way. I mean, it probably was just the army in their country. Although the movie kind of makes it seem like the army in their country was not really doing that much.
Because remember they were burning. How many cities did they burn? He went to that first city, and it was just in flames.
Anyway, this was honestly like probably one of my favorite movies that I've seen recently. I thought
Yes.
because it was quick, it was short, and I like a good short movie. I mean, it was just Dude, what you're gonna have to like you can't when you talk while I'm talking, it cuts you out.
I'm just saying that plane scene was probably the most ridiculous thing I'd ever. I thought it was at the.
Oh, I mean, what did you lie? I mean, like,
I like.
I didn't dislike anything.
No,
The
I didn't.
movie, I wasn't bored at all in the whole movie.
Oh no, but when the plane crashed and he comes crawling in, when the plane crashed and you don't see it, you just see it poof, and then then they kind of just hang out for a minute. You don't know what's happening. Then you see him. You see the pickaxe come out of the.
Well, there were several scenes in the movie where we were just like, what? I mean, this guy wouldn't live through that. It only makes sense if you take it knowing that they're kind of making this guy to be a legend. The
I think.
movie has got
Oh,
great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. However, I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember hearing much about it. We just kind of wandered into it randomly. Um, we didn't really did right. I mean, we were going to go see something else.
yeah. We'd seen the previews for it a couple of times, and I never could remember the name of it. I just thought that the war movie, and you said no, it's Soulside, the war movie. I didn't.
Sisu,
Huh?
Sisu, Sisu. Hell,
Sisu.
I guess Sisu Sozai doesn't matter. Uh,
Sisu. Mm.
it apparently another. This is another thing. It's apparently been out a while. It apparently was made last year, uh, and it's just now coming over here to the U.S. People who complain
I
about
mean, it's doing well. It did wherever they released it from. It did well there. If they released it here,
people who complain about movies not being original, uh,
that was original movie.
that was an original movie. And honestly, there have been a few of those lately. So if you're watching this channel and that describes you, get your ass to the movie theater and support stuff like this. Otherwise, we're all going to be sitting at the house watching 15 different copies of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Go support stuff like this. This was a really good movie, I thought. I would like to see more of this kind of stuff.
Or we're just going to end up watching Disney Plus remakes of old Disney movies.
I don't think people are watching Disney Plus. We'll talk about that later. You and I, we have got to sit and watch the Peter Pan thing because from what I've heard, it is so god awful. The thing I liked about this movie is it was just fast paced. I get bored in long movies. Very few times do I want to sit through a movie that's 2 hours long. This thing was like 90 minutes or something. How long was it? I don't actually, I'm saying that running time, 91 minutes. It was 91 minutes. It felt like it was about 30.
Who directed Men in Black? Do you remember who directed Men in Black?
I have no idea why.
The director of Men in Black said 90 minutes should be the running time for any movie because you can't after 90 minutes your audience gets bored.
Speaking of running times, you want to know how long would you say the next? Well, Transformers movies, they're just you go in, you watch them, you eventually it's like Harry Potter movie. You just don't know what the hell's going on about an hour into it. Do you know how long the next Transformers movie is? You are not going to get. Do not look this up on your computer. But do you know how long it is?
It's here.
First of all, tell me what you think. Remember Bumblebee? Bumblebee was pretty good. I don't remember how long it was.
An hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah. So why don't you take a guess how long the next Transformers movie is going to be?
Is it the same length as Return of the King? 3 hours and 45 minutes.
It's 3 hours and 40 minutes right now, from what I've heard. The rumors are. Oh
Okay.
wait,
That's just 5 minutes less than Return of the King. Which
yeah, Return of the King, based on J.R.R. Tolkien's rich, framework of mythology, and they're going to make a God bless a goofy ass Transformers movie.
That's not based on any canon of the old Transformers of any or any setup of the other Transformer movies.
Well, I'm talking to Frankie. I'll be down there. Just go ahead and eat.
I've seen the preview for the new one. There's a big giant gorilla that's like as big as Optimus Prime that comes out with some wisdom. The worst is yet to come, or something crazy like that.
So the worst is yet to come. I mean, I think that'll be us sitting in there at hour 1.5 of that movie. The worst is yet to come. I totally recommend this movie.
If you like action movie, you like don't mind a little gore, but it's based on in a real era, World War II. I enjoyed it.
Um, I get tired of they make German soldiers cartoonishly evil, and I kind of at first I thought they were going to do that with this movie, but then they kind of changed once they said that the motivation of the German soldiers was to get the goal. That made sense,
Well, what he,
because they knew the war was over and they knew they needed the money.
yeah, that was, I mean, he said that so perfectly. He said, guys, we know the war is coming to an end. We're going to lose. If we go back, we're going to be hung. We get his goal, we can make a fresh start.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. So anyway, I'm gonna close. Great movie. Go see it.
Definitely. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.